Last year, when I was setting some goals for myself, my goals looked very conservative or realistic, right? I wanted to cut down the amount of sugar I was consuming because I was eating entire packs of Subway cookies every single day. It was ridiculous. And I want to cut down my social media use. I was spending way too much time on social media, hours, 6 hours, 7 hours on my phone, and I feel like I really needed to decrease that. Those were my goals for the entire year, right? And at the time, I felt like, okay, these are pretty lofty goals. If I can reduce my sugar intake, that would be great. If I could reduce my social media intake, that would be great. Now, there's something that I learned that completely changed my mindset, okay? Because I started off the year with these as my goals. But you know what I ended up achieving? Let me show you. Here's what I actually accomplished. I quit sugar for a year, okay? Year to counting. I was off of social media for about 6 months. I didn't even have a phone for 3 months. I did not have a phone. You can check out the video somewhere here. I quit meat. It's been over a year. Dairy, poultry, no eggs, no cheese, none of that stuff. Other bad habits, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Quit my job, quit caffeine, all of that. All of that while making 10,000 plus a month in my business, starting a business from scratch, by the way, forgot to mention that, waking up at 4 a.m., and I've done this before as well. I did this for 8 months straight prior, and I did it again this year, and then I lost 32 pounds, right? And I've done all of that in the span of a year, where I started with just these as my goals. So I started really, really small. My imagination was like, I need to start out realistically, just cut down sugar a little bit. What I didn't realize is when you achieve one goal, when you achieve one of these things on the checklist, now it's on to the next one. It's on to the one after that. And it almost becomes like something you're chasing. You're like, I need to get better at this. I need to get better at that. I didn't think I could do any one of these things on their own, let alone all of them combined together. That's what I want to show you in this video, how you can do that. Now, if you're someone who's looking to develop your habits, you want to develop some discipline, check out some of the information in the description box. I'm looking to work with people who want to make progress not only in their professional life, but also in their personal life by developing some healthy habits. Now, make sure to watch this video till the end because I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to do this, and I'm going to break down the entire process. I don't want you to watch half this video and lose out on the process, okay? So what was the big game changer? How did I go from setting these small goals to actually achieving these big goals and basically flip my entire life in a year, right? And how can you do that as well? If I had to condense all of that stuff down, everything that I did in that year, into one word, it would be, you guessed it, discipline. Okay? This is something that I have not had. I haven't had any discipline in my life. I would eat whenever I want, would eat whatever I want. I would work out if I feel like it. I would work if I feel like it. There was no routine set. There was no willpower that I was using. I wasn't guiding my life through any discipline. Instead, I was relying on something called, you might have heard of this before, motivation or even inspiration, right? Now, you know the problem with motivation and inspiration? This is something I've learned from Jocko Willink. Inspiration and motivation are temporary. They come and they go. You watch a YouTube video today, you're like, wow, I feel inspired, I feel motivated. I'm watching Yasir's video, he's talking about all these things, I feel really motivated. You feel really high in your emotions, and then you watch another video, you do something else, and all of a sudden your motivation tanks out, right? So motivation and inspiration don't take you anywhere because they're temporary. And what a lot of people do is they set their goals at the start of the year because they feel motivated, they feel inspired, because they're at the brink of a fantastic new year. What they don't do is they develop discipline, okay? What's the difference between discipline? Discipline is a practice of a routine that you instill by doing it over and over again, so it becomes a non-negotiable for you. When you wake up in the morning, do you need any motivation or any inspiration to go brush your teeth? I hope you don't, because that's going to be a problem, okay? Do you need any motivation or inspiration to go make tea in the morning, or maybe at 8 in the morning to go and open up your laptop and look at your emails if you're working, right? You don't need any motivation or inspiration to do that. You just know you're going to wake up at a certain hour and you're going to do that thing. That is discipline. That is what you need to develop in all aspects of your life, okay? The thing is, the discipline is really hard when you start off, because we don't have discipline most of the time, right? If you're trying to get over some eating habits that you have that you aren't proud of, or you want to cut down on junk food, whatever it might be, you might not have the discipline required to stop, right? You might be eating whatever you want, or maybe if you want to get up at a decent hour, you don't have the discipline required. So the first thing you need to do is develop discipline in that one area, okay? So I'll give you an example of how I started. When I started, I wanted to make sure I wake up at a certain hour. So I started with the 4 a.m. challenge. Actually, now that I think about it, it was actually the 4:30 a.m. challenge that I did last year. This year was the 4 a.m. challenge. But just for the sake of example, let's look at a hypothetical example. You start by picking one thing. I'm gonna wake up at 4:30 a.m. Now you don't have to do this thing. This is just the thing that I picked, okay? I wanted to make sure no matter what happens, every single day I'm waking up at 4:30. Why 4:30? First of all, it's hard. Not a lot of people can do it. I didn't think I could do it. If I start the day off by doing something that's really, really difficult, I might be able to get something else done. Now, should you wake up at 4:30? Should you not? I have an entire video on my own challenge. Check that out. But this was how I started, okay? You can skip this, you can start with something else, whatever you want to do. Woke up at 4:30. What I wanted to prove to myself was that I can commit to a time that I promised myself, okay? Because the way discipline works is kind of like this. Make a side column here, okay? Think of discipline, it's interweaved into your self-esteem, okay? This might sound a little strange. What do I mean? Discipline is a lot like making yourself a promise. So for example, you make yourself a promise, today I'm not gonna have anything with sugar in it, okay? You're trying to discipline yourself to not eat any sugar. But then you eat sugar that day. And the next day you're like, today I'm not gonna have anything with sugar in it. But then you have sugar again. So when you do this time and time and time again, you make yourself a promise and you break it. You make yourself a promise and then you break it. You do that over and over again. What does that do to your self-esteem? You start thinking, I can't trust myself anymore. Every time I make myself a promise, I break my promise. The more times you break your promise to yourself, the less you can trust yourself, the less you will set any goals in the future. Think about it. If you had a friend of yours who makes a promise and breaks a promise over and over again, will you trust them? You won't. So most people, when they set goals, New Year resolution goals, whatever goals, they never commit to them, they never achieve them, they keep breaking their own promises, and then every single goal they set after that, they don't trust themselves with achieving it, and that's why they don't do it, okay? So I started with 4:30. I just wanted to commit to 30 days. I'm gonna wake up at 4:30. Now, how did I commit to it? Every single day I woke up and I took a picture of my alarm clock at 4:30 a.m. and I put it up on Instagram. Why? You don't have to do this, but because I wanted to keep myself accountable. This is the other thing we're gonna talk about. Accountability is huge when you're trying to develop a habit, okay? Accountability. Now, I did this the first time for 6 months straight, not just 30 days, but 6 months straight. I proved to myself that I could get up at this hour. I did this every single day, and the only reason I was able to do it was because I was posting it on Instagram, and then people would see it, and then when they don't see it, they're like, Yasir, you messed up. What's going on, man? And hopefully, obviously that didn't happen, but if it did happen, that will be a problem. So I put myself out there, I committed to it. Most people don't do this. Most people will be kind of on the fence. You know what? I'm thinking about getting on a diet. I'm thinking of starting working out. I'm thinking of starting my business. You're always thinking. No one's doing anything. No one's committing to anything. No one's actually taking the plan into action. They're kind of on the fence flip-flopping, which is why if you don't want something bad enough, you will never develop the discipline to do that, right? So you need to have a goal worth working up towards. Now, what happened? I started waking up at 4:30. I would go to the gym every single morning, maybe like half an hour after I wake up, so 5 a.m. Now what happened, I had done this for 30 days straight at that point, okay? And every time I would wake up, I would go to the gym, okay? And then I did that for 30 days. So what happened now? I developed one habit, built really good discipline. Because of that habit, I had built another habit. Working out, okay? Now I would work out till 6 a.m. and then I would find that my mind it feels relaxed, it feels like it's in a very, very good place. Now I can maybe meditate a little bit, okay? Here I would meditate for about 30 minutes at the time, and I would do that for 30 days. Now these habits I am building month over month, and I'm realizing that when I do one thing and I've mastered that one thing, I can then do the other thing, going to the gym for 30 days. Then I can master the other thing, meditating for 30 days. And then I just build on that discipline. So then what I did was after that, once I've done meditating at around 7 a.m., I would then work on my business, okay? This is how my business took off. When I started doing this, I was working at a hair salon as a receptionist making $15 an hour with a master's degree. That was my job, okay? But I knew that's not something I wanted to do. But I was working really long hours, didn't really have the time, so I had to develop the discipline to start my own business. So I woke up at 4:30, did that long enough till going to the gym became a habit. Every day I would wake up, go to the gym, wake up, go to the gym. It became almost like a routine. I didn't have to think about it. Then I would meditate right after, again, became a thing, didn't have to think about it. Right after meditating, I started working on my side business at 7 a.m. in the morning. And now this same channel that I started has now grown to where it is now when you're watching the channel. This is a full-fledged business. I earn my income through this channel. All of that, everything that I have right now, from quitting my sugar, from meditating to working out to quitting meat, every single thing can be reduced to one single word, one single thing that I did, and that was develop discipline. Okay, now I want to give you some practical tips, and let me know in the comment section what's something you're trying to quit. What is your objective? Because that's going to be really important. If you're kind of on the fence about it, you don't really want to do it, you're not going to do it. You need something that really sets a fire under your ass and you really want to do it, okay? So let's just take an example. You want to quit sugar. Suppose that's your goal, okay? The first thing you're going to do is decide the goal. What is your goal? So here it is, quitting sugar. Number 2, I would recommend giving yourself some sort of an accountability partner or an accountability challenge. That's super important because when we don't have anyone else to talk about it, when we don't have anyone to be accountable to, we can bullshit ourselves. We're really good at doing that. We're really good at lying to ourselves and saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll have a little bit today and tomorrow I'll get back onto it. And then a little bit becomes more and more and more and then you're completely off the wagon, right? So stay accountable to someone. Find someone, find a community. You can join our community, check the description box. I try to work with people and just everyone just kind of fosters each other's success, okay? That's what we're trying to do in the group there. So check that out. Find some sort of an accountability partner, okay? You've got an accountability partner. You've got a goal. So now you know, I want to do this, achieve X, okay, by Y. What I recommend is doing something for at least 30 days. Do not quit before 30 days. It's way too early. And that's also the stage where our mind starts coming up with a lot of excuses. So if you're quitting sugar, why am I quitting sugar? I don't need to quit sugar. I want to enjoy my life. I want to do this. Now you start rationalizing why you need to quit. So you want to make a commitment to, I want to achieve this for this many days and stick to it. Stick to your goals, okay? Stay accountable every single day. Have someone to tell it to. What I also want you to do, this I learned from Matt Diavella, check out his channel, have a calendar. So what you're going to do is have a calendar or just an A4 size paper, divide that into columns every single day where you have to do whatever you have to do, no sugar, whatever, mark an X. So it's going to look something like this, okay? Just your regular calendar. And you want to mark it out, just X. Next day, X, X, X. This is some weird psychological thing. Every single day when I was waking up at 4:30 or going to the gym, when I don't see an X on there, I would want to work or not work or contribute to that goal so I can mark that X at the end of the day, okay? So you're going to do that. You're going to take a calendar. You are going to, now you know what goal you have an accountability partner, you know what you have to achieve how, and then you're going to have a contingency plan, okay? This is the hard part. What do you do when things are failing? What do you do when you really feel the urge? Maybe you're quitting sugar, you're 2 weeks into it, and then your friends invite you to a party and there's nothing to eat except sugary snacks. What do you do that? Have some sort of backup plan. Maybe you can eat from home. Maybe you can pack some snacks of your own. Maybe you can have some fruit on hand. Anything like that, you need to have a backup plan because you will experience some sort of setbacks and you don't want them coming out of the blue and you're wondering what's going on, okay? So before you even get started with your program, make a whole list of everything that can go wrong, okay? And for every one of these things, have some sort of plan. If I go to a party and there's no food or whatever, this is what I'm gonna do. Or if I'm invited to a party that day, if I'm invited to somewhere that day, I'm gonna make sure to do these things. If I feel like my roommate's bringing in sugary snacks, this is what I'm gonna do. Have these systems in place so when they happen, you expected them to happen and you were completely prepared for them, okay? Now, the single most important thing you can do to tie all these things together is you need to commit, okay? If you don't commit to this, if you half-ass this, it's not going to work, right? Which is why I want to make sure this is something that's important enough to you. If you really want to say transform your body, you want to be in the best shape of your life, if you really want to do it, you got to commit, okay? If you really want to quit sugar, if you really want to get off caffeine, maybe you really want to start your business, whatever it might be, earn more money, charge more money, you got to commit. You got to make those things happen. In order to commit, you need discipline, which we've talked about, how we can do that. And then you need accountability, okay? And then lastly, we need a contingency plan. What do we do when things get tough? And they will get tough. So this is how you achieve your goals, okay? This is how I've been able to overcome my fear of public speaking. I've been able to quit meat, quit sugar, quit my job, make $10,000 of income, charge my worth for my services, all of those things because I committed, developed discipline, had accountability, and I had contingency plans as to what happens, okay? And I was also doing this vlogging in public challenge on LinkedIn where a lot of people were like, Yasir, I want to make videos and I'm really shy to make videos. I don't know how to do that. So what I did was I started a 30-day vlogging in public challenge where I'm scared of vlogging in public. I don't like going in front of other people and pulling my camera out. So I made that a thing. I was like, I'm gonna go every single day, record in public so you guys get the motivation, the incentive, maybe even the discipline to start recording in your own living room, in your own room, and start making your own content. And you can see how many people started doing that. Just go to my LinkedIn and check out how many people were following #Yasir Challenge. It's insane. You know, this is what happens when people commit and take action. The first day is really hard. Day 10, they don't even care. It just becomes second instinct. That's what I want you guys to do with discipline, okay? So this is how you set your goals so you actually achieve them. Again, if you want to work with me, you want to figure out how you can actually make this happen, not only for your own life, for your business life as well. If you want to check that out, everything is in the description. Again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.